Hey guys, welcome to my first video. This is my first time doing a voiceover, so bear with me. I'm just gonna go through my process for drawing some headshots that I've been doing lately. From start to finish, so sketch right up until lining and then colouring, the full thing, everything. So I always start off with a circle, and I don't always use it properly, but I feel like it just helps me ground the drawing. I like to do thick eyelashes on my eyes. Okay, so what just happened there was I got the original image and I photocopied it and blew it up, so it was about 130% bigger, and that's just the sort of size I've decided to use. I line on Bristol board, which is really smooth, really nice paper. It takes Promarkers really well, which is what I use to colour later on. I use Sakura Micron pens to line everything, and this is, I think, a 0.4 size pen. I like the fluff. Just add loads of fluff everywhere. It was really hard doing this because I like to rotate the paper a lot. And I had to keep it as still as possible for the video just so you could get a good idea of what I'm doing. It was like an alien way of moving my hand, it was very strange. So yeah, there's those big eyelashes again. And I like to leave the eyes till last because I probably shouldn't, because I find that they're the hardest bit to do. If you get them wrong, you've ruined it. I skipped out just then the name because that was the boring bit, and I used a ruler a lot to measure out, get things straight. You don't want to see that. It's not very interesting. Just adding thicker lines to the outside, it makes things pop. And it's done. So I use Promarkers first, put down all my base colours, and if I go out the lines, I use a blender pen to sort of push the ink back into the lines. It's helpful because you can hide a lot of your mistakes that way. There, I'm doing it again, just showing you a close-up. You can just push it back in. That's the beauty of alcohol markers. And I use a pencil there to sort of draw the outline of the markings so that I don't get them wrong. I hate just going straight in with Promarker. It's pretty permanent, so once you've made a mistake, that's it. There's no going back. There's only so much the blender can do. So yeah, just laying down all the flat colours. Later on I'll go back over with the same pens, and because they're alcohol markers you get a darker colour out of it. So I can put a bit of shading in. That's now. I actually lost a little bit of footage here, so that's why it skipped a little way, but you can see I'm going back into the same areas with the same colours, just to darken each area and define a few shadows. I find a lot of time using the lighter colours when shading, you tend to smudge the fineliners, unfortunately. I did a little bit on this and sort of learnt not to go away from the fineliners. You can see it on the chin. Just a little bit of smudging. I was able to clean it up later on though. It wasn't too horrific. fixing a few little spots. Okay, and this is where I start using my Prismacolors to go back in to all the shading and soften it all, darken it, lighten it. This is where you make the image really sort of come to life. It's quite flat before this. You'll see afterwards the difference it makes. I did actually end up losing some more footage later on, so my favourite bit, the white highlights on the black fur, didn't get recorded, unfortunately. Just making sure all the shadows blend well. And always test your colours. There's so many times that I've put the wrong colour on. It's especially important when you're using light colours, so shading the white areas. If you use something that's a horrible dingy colour, it can really make a lasting bad effect. It's really hard to get rid of some of the colours once you've made that mistake. I struggled a little bit with the hair here because I didn't have the sort of light reddish brown that the hair colour was, so I ended up having to go in with brighter reds than I had. I managed to claw it back though, it wasn't too bad. So I always do the black in the eyes last. I think it's so that if I colour over it in Prismacolors, you don't end up losing that deep blackness that we want for the pupil. So just adding the finishing touches to the name, and then I go back in with a white jelly roll pen and do all the highlights. The highlights on this character are especially important because they're black, so I had to put the white around the edge of his face so that it would pick out and make the fur on the edge of his face stand out against the black of his neck. So lettering is the last thing I do. This is just adding the finishing touches now. If you liked this, please let me know in the comments. I'd really like to hear some feedback. This is the first voiceover video I've done, the first time I've recorded my process from start to finish, so a like and a subscribe wouldn't go amiss. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to try and answer anything that you have any queries on.